Bingo.
Stuff together. Strip both of them, yeah?
Hold down.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Oh, that was a good one.
Warm welcome to me like that.
Warm welcome to Paul Christian Spiritualist Church. It's a true pleasure to see so many of you here who actually realized we changed the time tonight. So well done to all of you. So, and before we start our service today, could I please ask each and everyone to see if you have turned your phones off or put them in silence? Because that's not how we communicate today. After 12 o'clock, we will communicate that way instead. So, is there anyone here who are here for the first time? Welcome, extra warm welcome to both of you. Nothing's beautiful mediums working on the platform, so all you have to do is just relax and enjoy this morning, and we will have fun. So, today we have two wonderful mediums on our platform. Our speaker and the guy who's going to give us the prayers today is Savill, and I know all of you in here know who the guy is. The president as well. And this beautiful lady here, Sandra Aetheris is going to do the mediumship today. So we are up for a real treat today without putting any pressure on our speaker and medium. So, before I continue with the service today, could I please ask Lawrence to open our service in prayer?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. They answered me like that as well. Thank you. So, as we always remind you, this time is created by your presence. All right? You've not come here to watch an act, a play, a stage, a film. Everything that happens on this platform is in reaction and sympathy with the energies that you have brought here today. So you are the service. Never forget that. So we could just still our minds for this time, put our cares, concerns and thoughts of this world to one side, and just immerse ourselves in this energy, this combined energy of all these beautiful souls gathered here today, both here in the physical and here in the virtual, to celebrate that knowledge, that understanding, and that pathway to the unfoldment of all the implications of continual life. We'd ask that our demonstrators, each and every one on this platform today, harness and work with the energies you've brought here this day, to bring through that philosophy and that evidence and that love of the life continual. And we now place this service in thine tender, loving hands of that whom we call God, and know that all that will be done will be said with love in our hearts and a smile on our lips. Amen. Amen. And now, if you care to, please join in with saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, for that beautiful opening prayer to set the scene for our service today. We will continue with our service and go into the healing silence, where each and every one of you can send out healing to those you feel most need it. to mind, body, and spirit, to all there is, including yourself in this healing power, because to include ourselves is equally important when we send out our healing. So those who want to say the name for those who you receive healing to, please put your hand up and I will point to you. And when I point to you, please say the name. As we go into our healing moment of silence. As you know, I've heard all the names as we put them in our healing books. We know that the healing will be received to those who I need. Let's include ourselves at this moment in time. And as we all know, the healing will continue as long as there is a need. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending out your thoughts on healing. Now we come to the philosophy part of the service today. And I would like to invite Lawrence to give us a reading and share his philosophy from his worker from the spirit world.
Thank you, Fredrik. Good morning again, everybody. Excuse me. The minute you stand up to talk, your throat immediately goes dry. Your tongue suddenly becomes 10 times the size it normally is. Imagine for a moment you are dreaming. You are completely engrossed in the dramas of your dream world when a mysterious stranger appears in your dreams. He sidles up to you and softly whispers something extraordinary in your ear. Psst! Wake up. You're dreaming. You're disconcerted, but keep your cool. You know the best way to deal with people who are clearly out of the box is to nod politely and hope that they will go away. But this stranger is persistent. I know it sounds mad to you right now, but you are dreaming. You feel irritated. That's observed. The stranger stands there unperturbed. Is it really observed? Haven't you noticed how full of significant patterns and strange coincidences your experience is? As if there is some hidden meaning. Well, that's because this is a dream. You then become angry. Are you saying that this world is some kind of unreal delusion? I find that offensive. Tell that to all those people who are suffering. The stranger is patient. Of course this world is real. It is a real dream world. Its wonders are truly wonderful, and its horrors are truly horrible. I'm not dismissing it. I'm simply pointing out that it is a dream. What do you mean? The stranger explains. Right now you think you are a person talking to me, but that's just who you temporarily appear to be in this dream. The real you is the dreamer, and this whole dream world exists within you. Are you asking me to believe that I am imagining talking to you? Surely you cannot be a product of my imagination. The person that you seem to be is not imagining this conversation with me, because that person is a part of this dream. But really, you are the dreamer, who is imagining everything and everyone in this dream. We appear to be separate people having a conversation, but actually, we are both the dreamer. And by now, I'm beginning to freak out. I'm losing hold on who I am. The stranger is reassuring. Don't worry, you're just beginning to wake up. This is a dream of awakening. It is designed to make you progressively more conscious until you realize you are conscious enough to realize that you are dreaming. But I don't understand. How would I wake up? You can wake up you can wake up any time you want. You simply have to want to wake up more than you fear it. And there is nothing to fear. Waking up feels good. Knowing you are dreaming is the secret of enjoying the dream. Your anxiety becomes excitement. You want to wake up. And the more you want to wake up, the more you become conscious that you are dreaming. And that feels good. You are no longer frightened of the terrors that may afflict you in the dream, because you know the real you is safe. Even if the person you seem to be were to die, it would be okay, because actually, you are the dreamer. Overwhelmed with gratitude, you begin to thank the stranger, but he has moved on and now deep in conversation with someone else who is looking shocked and intrigued. You call after him, "What now?" He turns and briefly grins. Enjoy the dream and help everyone to enjoy it as well, because we are all you. For a moment you just stand there and let this awesome realization sink in. Then you notice nearby a number of anxious-looking people hurrying about their business, fully convinced they know exactly who they are and where they are going. You smile to yourself, sidle up to one of them and whisper softly, "Psst, wake up, you're dreaming." Who's happy with the world we live in today? Put your hands up. Who's not happy with the world we live in today? Says a lot, doesn't it? We're having all these troubles, all these times, all these afflictions. Everywhere we look, we see war, we see plague, we see poverty, we see all the things, the disasters going on. And it's quite understandable. We all feel lost. We all feel a little bit like seaweed that's become detached from the bottom of the ocean and now at the mercy of the ebb and flow of the tide. And we're surrounded too by many theories, many thoughts, many schools of philosophy. There's talk of the Council of 12 of Ashitar, which went back to the 70s and 80s. The ascension theories, which again have roots back in the early 70s. But most of these are based in the orthodoxy of religion. And the orthodoxies of religion are based in the human tenet that we all crave someone to save us or someone to demonize. And that is one of our inherent parts of our humanity, the way we are in this world. But we look out into the world and we look, who is going to save this? Who is going to restore the balance? Who is going to create the peace? Who is going to heal the world? And the one true thing about that is the person that looks back in your mirror every day. Because all these things start with us. We've touched upon the uncritical thinking of some of the current philosophies that abound on our social media and the internet. And when I say uncritical thinking, because they don't attract criticism, they just say, trust me, believe me, and you will be saved. And that's a very appealing thing, isn't it? That does appeal to us on a level. That has, if somebody says, listen to me, do what I say, and you will be saved, you think, oh yes please, I'll have some of that. But we here in spiritualism, we are very critical within our philosophy. We are very critical within our mediumship, no matter how that manifests. We're very critical in the basic philosophy because it's an interaction all the time, forever growing. And it grows because we develop, and as we develop, we grow more with it. There's nothing in the orthodoxy that still remains in some branches of spiritualism that say, if you do this, you will be okay. But within spiritualism, we say to you, if you find yourself, you will be okay. Now, that's not a selfish act. I was having a discussion with somebody yesterday, and the phrase that when we're on an aeroplane and the oxygen mask drop down, what are we told to do? That requires a response.
Sort yourself out first. Breathe.
Yeah. Is that a selfish act? No, it's a practical act. It's a practical act. To ground yourself, to make sure you've got that oxygen, to make sure you can function, so you can help others. And when we apply this to the energies in which we surround ourselves, the energies which we create ourselves, we stand in our own power. We don't go to somewhere because the energy is there, or the energy is here, or the energy is not there. The energy is always there. It's how we refine ourselves. It's how we can raise our own thoughts to meet these energies on their levels. But this is the thing with spiritualism. We encourage debate. We encourage discernment. We encourage searching and asking and coming together in groups such as this, be it here, wherever in the world, to find out what does it mean that we do not die. We see the mediums, our evidential mediums, working on the platform, bringing through those messages of communication, of evidence. We sometimes have this misimage that the spirit world are just sort of like sat around waiting for somebody to call our name. It's far, far from that. Each and everybody's view and vision and understanding of the spirit world is exactly what they will find when they make that trip. I once said in my mediumship, why do I never see where they are? And Spirit came back and said, because that's their heaven, not yours. And that really profound. I really got that. I really understood that. Our heaven is where we are. By opening our minds, by opening our understandings, by research. We've all got the world of information in our palms now. By meditating. By sitting and just connecting, not reaching out to get messages, to send healing or do whatever, but going within, to talk to yourself, to find yourself. And once you start on that route, and once you earnestly apply yourself to that unfoldment, nothing is unachievable. It may not be the way that we would like. My 6 numbers still aren't working. But I was sat there the other day and we're all human, and yep, we all think about our physical world, our financial situations, and I think, okay, you're never going to go on a cruise, but I don't actually want to, because look at what happens here. Look at the joy, look at the inquiry, look at you all here today. This is beautiful, this is wonderful. And it's just through that creation, that creating of this environment, this place, this time, makes me one of the richest men in the world, and I'm so proud, thank you. But go within and find that peace. Don't seek it outside. Don't run from this philosophy, that philosophy. It may make sense. But if it invites debate, if it invites criticism, go along that path. If you try to debate it and are told that, well, you would say that because you're a doubter, that says a lot. That is an answer. But working with our spirit, we are spirit. The spirit talking through the spirits on this platform today to the spirits sat here in this church today. We're all connected. We're all one. We all come from one source. And we will all return to one source. So work on putting aside the petty rivalries, the petty upsets, the petty disputes. What do they matter? What do they matter? It's generally only the energies of ego or pride that make us go, you said what? What did you say? How dare you? Does it really matter? And is it strong enough to keep you in that dream? Or will you find your own power to waken from that dream and realize that beauty, that connectivity, and that thread of the divine which shines bright from everyone, everywhere, regardless of our own thoughts. So I'd just like to leave you with another reading. When you get all you want and struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your mother, your father or wife whose judgment upon you must pass, but the man whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you right to the end. And you've passed your most difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. You can fool the whole world down the highway of years and take pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, for that beautiful philosophy and address. We will shortly begin with our demonstration here. We're going to listen to a piece of music, and we will also go around with the collection. And while we go around with the collection, please send your thoughts to your loved ones in the spirit world. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone, for your generosity. We will shortly begin with our demonstration, and all the feedback we want from you is yes, no, or I don't know. I'm not that good with the mannerism as Lawrence normally does. So, and I have seen it online, and I have also saw it the last Sunday. So I think it's when you want to answering yes, and it's a no, and it's I don't know. Thank you very much. So, could I please invite Sandra to the platform?
Good morning, everybody. Let's hope we have a nice bright morning full of energy. Okay, I'll start straight away. As I'm looking out into the congregation, I see three husbands lined up. So I'm presuming...
Not for one man.
So I'm presuming these three ladies have all got their husbands in the spirit world, because they're looking at their watches and they've been waiting. Well, the first husband comes in his fireman's outfit, and he's got his wife over his shoulder, so I know they would have had a lot of fun in their marriage. And as he steps forward closer to me, he's giving me the impression that you were third time lucky in marriages. That's what he's saying to me. And it's almost like you lifted him up from his life. He had been through quite a difficult time, and you came in just at the right moment of his life. I know that he would have had a cancer, a throat condition, but it started here and it went upwards. He keeps going back and forth to the hospital trying to tell me that they wouldn't listen to him, that there was something wrong, and he wouldn't listen to you every time you kept saying, well, go down to the doctors and have it checked. That's what that's the feeling I have with him. Yes? All right, and as this lovely man comes forward, he's a really good-looking guy, actually. So he was quite dapper in his way, the way he dressed and everything else. And he could shake his hips about as well, because he would have loved dancing, and he especially would have loved dancing with you. He's bringing in so much love for you. I know you've got another husband in the spirit world, but he's pushed him back and told him, my turn, mate, right? That's what he's saying. But your other husband in the spirit world is just stepping forward just to say hello. Okay, and this lovely man that's coming through, he's actually dressed up in a fireman's outfit. And he would have turned heads as well. You know when you say ladies turns heads, this gentleman would have turned heads as well. And he had a really good sense of humour with that as well. He's also telling me that in your sleep state you go up to the spirit world and you're rock and rolling and you're dancing and everything else. He's also telling me that you wake up during the night as well. It's like with this sudden thud. And he's telling him that's when you come back into your physical body. So every time you go to sleep you're with him, and you know, never worry about that. He's showing me a Christmas tree, as I'm drawn to the Christmas tree. I thought it's quite significant. I feel you haven't been putting a Christmas tree up, or he's indicating about putting the Christmas tree back up. He's also saying he doesn't want you to be on your own, and around Christmas time he's very much with you and the family. That's what he's saying. As he stands beside you, he's bringing in someone else. I can see like a coffin. Everybody I work with symbology, so there's not actually a coffin sitting there. As I'm looking at this, there's a lady coming through, and she's coming out of there, and she's standing very much with you. She's coming on your left side, so I would say your mother in the spirit world is trying to come through. She's quite a nice lady as well, and she was very careful what she said, and she watched her P's and Q's as she spoke, this lady. I just feel she had very nice manner about her. Your husband's got his arm around her, so the two of them are met in the spirit world. That's the message I need to give to you as well. I also see the initial E. I'm not sure it's Emma, Edna, but that name is coming through for you as well. You understand that? And as your mum stands forward, she's I'm not sure she passed with pneumonia at the end, but she's given me the feeling of pneumonia as she draws closely to me. That's right. And also your father's coming in. They're in twin coffins, so I know they got on well in this life. And they're coming in together, and they're bringing you a lot of love. Okay. Your father rubs his chest, so I get the feeling he would have had a heart attack. But he's telling me also that he would have more than one heart attack. Does that make sense to you? And I just need to tell you the message that the two of them are together. Okay. And the family are also together. Just one more coming through. I see a smaller coffin coming in, so that tells me that there's a child that passed to spirit, very, very young, that's connected in the family. Do you understand that as well? And it's almost like your mum and dad are saying they've got her with them, because I feel it's a little girl. That's coming through. I'll leave you with all their love. The 25th of a month is quite significant as well. Seeing a birthday cake anniversary and the 25th. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, and also as I'm asking them to draw really, really close to me, so much love coming from your husband to you. Okay, I said, what's your name? He said, it's all right, just call me Ken. And that's all right, darling. Loads of love, and just remember he's made a special effort, very strong character, pushing his way through everyone else. That's what I feel with this man. But as I go on, he's talking about a wedding ring. He's making a point of a wedding ring, and he places it with you. So I do believe you still have his wedding ring. Does that make sense? Also, I want to say, I keep on drawing away, don't I? He's quite a strong energy. Also, as he steps forward, he's showing me glasses. He's telling me glasses have been held onto that belong to him. Does that make sense to you? I want to go for 3 pairs of glasses, not 1, not 2. I'm seeing 3. He's also showing me you've got a photo of him right next to your bed, and also you've got a photo on the other side. It's like 2 photos on either side of the bed. Okay, obviously you're going to kiss him goodnight before you go to sleep, and you do feel him sitting on the bed. All right, okay. Have you ever felt two at the same time? I don't mean it like that.
Are you sure?
No, I don't mean it like that, sorry. What I'm seeing is I see your first husband, your third husband sitting on one side of the bed, and I don't know who's on the other end, and it goes down as well. So I don't know. You'll have to take it as it comes, that message, okay? Lots of love coming from him, all right? And he's a really nice guy to work with, okay? Have you still got his uniform? No. Was he buried in his uniform? Because he's making a point of his uniform. He keeps laying it out for me. Oh, his helmet on the top, so that's symbol of the uniform. He wants to say thank you very much for all the trouble you went to. All right, and I'll move on to the next person. Thank you for working with me. Can I come to you, darling? Yeah, no, the lady next to you. Yeah, that's right. Do you speak English? No. Can you translate? I'm only joking. Right.
You can.
Can I come to you? Your husband's in the spirit world, please. Yeah, it's your father, and it's your husband. I'm not saying he was a rugged man, but he comes in as quite a strong man. He's a very hands-on man. That's what I'm seeing with him. Very casually dressed. That's what I feel with him as well. But very family orientated. Does that make sense to you? I feel he travelled over water, he travelled over land, because he's pointing overseas. So I do feel that he would have lived here or he would have travelled here, but he's talking about coming over to this country. Does that make any sense to you? Okay. Well, pardon? Your husband, okay. And your husband's in spirit, so sorry about that. So we got a husband and we got a father coming through as well. But your husband would have come back and forth. I'm also seeing a lorry driver. They're showing me a driver. That makes sense to... Okay, all right, hold on to that then. I'm going to go back to that and find out why they're showing that. I just feel like I see a lorry next to me. I see it's your father jumping in the lorry. He's driving, so he would have had... He would have had a connection with deliveries, he would have had a connection with lorries. He keeps bringing that scene back to me, but don't worry if you can't take it. It may be for someone else, but that's what I'm seeing with him, okay? But as your husband steps forward very, very closely to me, he was a nice man as well, wasn't he? And he was quite a lively character, and he liked to have fun as well. That's what I'm seeing with him. And he used to tease you all the time. I can see him teasing you, and he still does now. He used to walk around while you're cooking in the kitchen and torment you. Does that make sense to you? He says he still does now. Okay, and if I said to you that you feel him very close to you at special times, would that make sense to you as well? I almost see him, I know I say this quite, but I see him on the bed as well. I see him lying next to you on the bed. It's almost like you ask him to do that. You ask him for a cuddle and you ask him to draw close. Also, I see you putting a jumper atop of his on as well. It's like you hold on to it and it makes you feel really, really close to him. He's telling me that he blows in your face when you're sleeping. You feel that as well? He blows in your face as he draws really, really close. I know you're not English, but I got the name Harry or Harris or a name beginning with H that's connected, and I can't quite pronounce it, but it's in my mouth, it's on my tongue, if that makes any sense. But that name is stepping forward as well. Okay. He's bringing you loads of love. He won't tell me. I've asked him how he passed, but he's saying that's nothing. He was quite sick poorly before he passed. That's what he's talking about. And he's rubbing this area as well. So there would have been a condition around this area. I just want to say your husband's saying how well you've done. If you look back, how well you've done. And you have children. He's talking about the children. He's also talking about 2 children. Is it 2 children that you have? Or is it 3? 3 children, that's what he's saying. And the children have picked themselves up and they're doing well. He's also talking about a child that would have changed schools. There's something to do with the school, a change. Yeah, he's going well done. He's also talking about his son. You have a son, please? Yeah, he's put the private cap on the son, so that tells me your son is quite clever. Really, really clever lad. And he's telling me to tell you that he's going to do really well. Okay, he's a strong influence in your life, your husband still. And he said this Christmas, you like candles for him as well, don't you? I can see the Christmas tree, I see all the candles, and he's there around. His presence is really, really quite strongly around you. And I heard the name Peter as well. Yeah, you understand that? And I just feel when you have the Christmas tree up this year, just light them candles and know that he's sitting in that chair with you all. Okay, did someone put a Christmas present under the tree for him? Yeah, you've got a present for him. Yeah, he knows you've got a present for him, and he likes the idea of that. It's quite unusual, actually. He likes the idea of that, and it's good for the children to see that, because then they know he still continues and he still exists, but obviously in heaven or a different dimension. One of your children also, they look up at the stars and they think of their father up in the stars, because he's showing me the stars, and he's saying when that happens, he's very much with them. Okay? All right? Loads of love coming for you. Loads and loads of love, and I'll give you a big kiss from him. Okay, all right. And your bed doesn't go down both sides; it only goes down one. All right. That's nice to see you smile. Okay, everyone smile. Actually, lift the energy. Can I come to the lady in the middle? Your husband in the spirit world, please. Oh, I'd check home if I were you then. No, I'm only joking. I just feel another husband coming through. I feel a gentleman with a dicky bow. If it's not you, it's the lady behind, one of the ladies behind. Your husband's in spirit? Your partner's in spirit, okay. Because he was actually standing in between the 2 of you, so I knew it was connected, okay. And it's almost like he would have liked you to be his wife. And I'm sure he would have proposed at some point, or that was the plan, because that's what he's telling me. Okay, and as this really, really, I'm going to ask him to step a little bit closer. As this gentleman steps forward with me, I'm hearing the name David, or Dave is connected to him as well, or Danny, Darren, but he's giving me that name as well. He steps back 2 or 3 times from you, so that tells me he's been in the spirit world for a while, please, for quite a long while. Yeah. And it's almost like your heart is still quite open about it all, because he's showing me your heart. And as he steps forward, he's bringing loads of healing to you as well. He's also, he doesn't want to talk about how he passed either, all right? And let's have a look. He's a bit slower, this energy. Was he quite a quiet man? Yes, he was quiet, because I feel it's very slow energy, and I'm having to encourage him to step forward. That doesn't mean he's not here, because he is here. Okay, and it's almost like he stands at the door, like he wouldn't have come to a place like this. Does that make sense to you? He was dead against it, or dead, or anyway, he was dead against it, that's what he's saying. And so he's trying to tell me that this really wasn't his thing when he was on the earth plane. Okay. He's also telling me that you were with him when he passed, is that right? Yeah. And I can see you holding his hand, and that meant a lot to him, because he was still present at that time, and you whispered in his ear and you spoke to him, and he's telling he heard every word that you said to him. Okay. He's also telling me that you put a quilt, or you put extra covers on him, because he's showing me that you wanted him to be, that's what I'm seeing you, yeah, that's right. He wants to also say to me as well that, I don't know why, I just saw a motorbike flying. Would you understand a connection with a motorbike? Did he ride a motorbike? Was there any connection with bikes? Not that you know of. Okay, all right.
But I have a friend who.
In spirit? Okay, right. And your husband, did he know him?
No.
All right, so I don't know why I'll ask that bike to step back bike. Right, so I just feel he's stepping forward. It's not a very strong connection, and that's not anything to do with him or me or anything. It's just that he was quite quiet, and I think he's quite quiet in the spirit world as well. He was a man of few words, but what he did say was quite significant. He was an intelligent man, very intelligent, and I see lots of books around him and all that sort of stuff as well. And he used to put his glasses down like that because he just showed me that as well. And he used to like to read, and he'd look up in his glasses as if to say, "What are you up to?" That's what he's doing. And that's it, laugh. He wants to see you smile, and he wants to see you laugh, okay? Now he's taking me to the middle part of the body, so I do feel there's a problem around this area. That's what he's indicating to me as well. And he's saying it happened suddenly. It's like it was there and it was gone. He places a birthday cake in front of you. It's like a square cake, that usually means anniversary or birthday cake, and he's putting a glass on it with a drink, so he's bringing in celebrations. He used to like the odd whiskey and brandy as well. That's what he's saying. He still hold a bottle of his brandy or whiskey in the cupboard because he sees that as well, okay? All right, he's saying happy birthday. Is it your birthday?
In September.
Yeah, he's saying happy birthday as well, and he's taken me past Christmas, and he's talking about January, February, and he's saying there's an anniversary around that time as well. That's right. It's almost like he passed around that time, or he got very ill around that time as well, because he's giving more information about that. I want to say to you that even though you two didn't get married, you were married in your hearts, and you always knew the two of you were soulmates. It's almost like throughout his life, he searched and searched for someone to love him and he could love. And then you just turned up at his doorstep, literally. Okay? He's also shown me university and colleges, and so I just feel education with this man. Yes? Okay, as well. Bringing you lots and lots of love. Okay? I see the name Sarah or Sarah written above your head. Unless I've moved on.
Someone's middle name.
Oh, it's someone's middle name as well. Okay, all right. There's a lady stepping forward. She's coming in like in that direction. She's really next to me, but what she's doing is showing me where she is next to you. And she comes in, and she would have passed with the condition of the breast. It would have been breast cancer, this lady. And I feel that she could be a family member connected to you. Does that make any sense to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay, all right. I feel sister, auntie. I'm getting that type of energy with this lady, but I know she would have passed. You understand that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. And also, I want to say to you as well, you have an auntie in the spirit world that's stepping forward, and she would have had like, had a barren womb. She wouldn't have had children. She's shown me that as well. I see the barren womb with her, and also she's given me the name Anne or yes, take that. Thank you very much. So we know we got the right connection. That's what I want to say. She's talking about also the arguments over a will. Or there was a will, there was, I can see the official piece of paper, I can see her stamping it. So there was something that went on with the will to do, I feel, with the auntie. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, it did. So she's telling me it did. Okay. And she looks down from wherever she is in heaven. And she was quite perplexed. She was quite amused by it all the little things that went on about her will and everything else. Okay. And but everything's settled now, isn't it? Right, she just wants you to know that she's aware of that. There's your mum in spirit as well, isn't there? There's like lots of people coming in, but I need to move on. And I need to tell you that your mum and dad are definitely together as well. And they're bringing in lots and lots of love to you. Who was the teacher?
Two of them, my father and my auntie.
Your father and your auntie. Because you know when you go into the university, you see the gown. It's like your father's just made his entrance with in the gown with the scholar cap on, and his stick. He's got his stick with him. He was like the conductor, and he used to do sort of lectures as well. I see him on the stage in front of everybody. It's like, you know, when you go to the proms and you see the music and they go duh, duh, duh. That's what he's doing in front of me. And he says he hasn't heard you laugh like that for a long time. That's what he's saying as well. And your dad was a funny man, wasn't he? And they used to call him the mad professor. That's how I see him, like some mad professor. And I say that with love as well. He's coming in and he's giving you the conductor's stick. And he's telling you that you need to get things into control. If that makes any sense to you. Okay? You need to get things into control. And also I want to say to you, as I'm drawing even more close to you, it's almost like, I know we're in a church and it's a church service, but I want to say your partner is talking about new companionship, a new companion. Does that make any sense to you, please? All right, watch that space then. But he doesn't want you to be on your own, and he doesn't want you to be, you know, thinking about him all the time, because he's saying life's too short. He wants you to be happy, and thank you so very, very much for being such a wonderful person to him and fun. Okay. Does Vienna mean anything to you? Vienna. Vienna.
It does to Paul, my partner,
Yeah, because he's talking about Vienna. As long as you can take it, all right. He's talking about Vienna meant a lot to him, whether he worked there, because he had a connection there. I'm not sure, but he's talking about Vienna, all right, as well. One more thing, he's talking about also. He's writing a letter and he's putting it in the coffin. So there was a letter written that was placed in the coffin. All right, just okay. Lots of love. All right, and he just said to me, I used to have a beard, you know. Yeah? He said he's cut it all off now because you never liked it. And don't know, some information. Lots of love. Lots of love. And I'll move on to the next communication, and I'll see who's coming through. There's somebody going up and down on a bike, and it's a child going up and down on a bike, trying to catch them because the energy's just whizzing around in front of me, and hopefully they're draw closely to me. There's a little boy in spirit stepping forward. He just stepped onto the platform. Okay, it's not very. I'm not sure at age. I don't know. It's 9, 10. I'm not quite sure. It could have been younger, but he's just stepped onto the platform next to me. As he stands next to me, he's holding a thermometer, and I see like it would have been something like. You're right. It would have been something like meningitis, high temperature, but I just see a water around his forehead. That's what he's showing me. Could anyone, I know it's vague information, would anyone understand that? Nobody can take that? Right. Okay, let's see what's going to happen next. Let's see what he's going to do. I want to go over here. Would you understand any of that information? That a young lad passed into the spirit world? Just over here. No? Maybe. Okay, all right, because he's got off and he's walked right behind you. That's why I'm coming to you, because he's saying he's with you. But it would have been back in the family. Does that make you understand that? It would have been quite back in the family. And he's taken me down here as a baby. He's taken me further back in age with him, and he was very young. Yes, no?
There were a lot of children that it might have been.
Okay, all right. I just feel he's taking me back as well now, and he's showing me that he would have been born, I believe, and he's showing me his heart, and so there would have been a problem around there, or because he's going like this with his heart, so he's showing me that would have been part of his passing. There were a few with the heart. Okay. So let's have a look at this. This young man is connected to somebody with the name of Tom. Yes?
Yes.
Right, thank you very much.
The method of demise or something.
Yeah, okay. So you can take this now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and Tom's in spirit.
Yes.
Yes, because Tom's coming through. And this is like his calling card coming in. He makes me work. Spirit really make me work sometimes, you know. It's not fair. But this is his method of coming in. This is Tom's method of coming in. And it's almost like Tom is showing me he's connected to you. Does that make sense? I see the cord attached, so he's connected to you. And he comes in and he puts his face very much close to yours. So he was a bit of a teaser and a joker, this guy.
Tactile.
Pardon?
Tactile.
Tactile, yeah. What does tactile mean?
Touchy-feely.
Touchy, yeah. Yeah, because I see him go like that with you and coming in really, really close. I haven't worked out who he is yet, but whoever he is, he's a bit of a character as he comes in and he's going like that. Pardon? Special, yeah. And he was a joker. Did he ever make you laugh?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, so he was a joker.
Yeah. He did tell jokes, but
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I'm not saying he was a gambler, but he used to take a risk and gamble, didn't he? He was a gambler, wasn't he? Yeah, because I see the gambling going on here. Sorry, not to tell everyone your business. No, he took risk and gambles in life. That's the way I want to put it. Yeah, yeah.
If you're on about gambling and an adult, no.
Right, but you understand he took a risk and a gamble in his life.
Clearly, eventually, yes.
Yes, eventually. And it had a huge ripple effect. That's what he's shown me. He's shown me his body, and he's shown a huge ripple effect on all the family around him. That's what he's saying. It had a huge. But you're very special to him, okay? And there's so much love coming from him to you. And I'm not saying he's your dad. I don't want to put him in that category. But your dad is in spirit, isn't he? Because your dad just wrote dad. What about me? He said dad. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Dad can't come through, you know.
Thank you.
That's all right. He wants to come through, and he's saying, "I'll show them how to do this." So he's coming through communication. Now, your dad was a joker. Your dad was a really nice man, and he used to. Because they're going to say no, aren't they? To me, he's nice anyway. To me, he's nice. Okay. And there's a lot of love from your dad to you. This is what I want to say. I see the hearts pouring out for you. So whether what happened on the earth plane, I'm not sure, but I know from the spirit world, he's bringing lots of love to you. That's what he's trying to bring you, okay? All right? Also, he's saying it's almost like there was a divide in the family, he's showing me. So there was a split in the family, and I want to go back in time, so he's talking about this must have happened many years ago, the divide in the family. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So that's what he's trying to tell me. He's trying to tell me a little bit history of the family, okay? And your dad had brothers as well, because as I'm looking at him in the spirit world, he's with a long line of boys next to him, like brothers, like a long line of men around him. That's what I'm picking up, okay? He wants to say he's sorry to you, by the way. He wants to say he's sorry for all the things that were said and done. That's what he wants to say as well. And there was a certain time in your life that he wasn't there for you. Does that make sense to you? Because I see him turning his back. But you know what? He always had this photo of you. He keeps showing me a photo that he kept dear to his heart. In other words, you were very dear to him, all right? Even though you didn't see each other, you were very dear to each other. You can... Hello?
Yes, oh yeah.
Yep.
I don't understand that, but
What, that you were very dear to him?
no, that he wasn't around.
Yeah, okay, all right. I thought you said yes. Anyway, maybe he wasn't around within himself as he should be, but he's saying that you were always dear to him, his heart. He really found it difficult sometimes to express his emotions, this man. So I just feel like, you know, some men find it difficult to say I love you all the time, and then it's usually the mum that says it. But he was put across your head, I love you. That's what he wants to say, I love you. And everything's going to be all right. He's talking about everything up in the air, but everything's going to come and settle down. And he's saying, just keep walking forward. Just keep walking forward. Got the name, well, your aura's really expanded there. I just got the name Carol written beside you. So Caroline, Carol has been written beside you as well. If you can't take it, don't worry, just hold on to it. I'm going to leave him with all your love, all right? And he's sort of fought his way to come through today. He's moved Tom out of the way. And Tom's there as well. I'm only joking with you. All right, that's what I'm seeing. But was it your dad who was the heavy smoker? He was a smoker. Because you know when they smoke, sometimes you see the yellow fingers. I'm just picking up on the yellow fingers being the smoker. But I know his smoking affected him towards the end of his life. It would have affected what was wrong with him. That's what he's saying. All right. Yeah.
He stopped quite young.
Yeah. Loads of love coming in for you. All right. And I don't know why I just heard asbestos. I don't know why, if there was a lung condition, emphysema linked around you, but I just heard that as well. Lots of love coming in from you, from your dad, from Tom, you know, from everybody in, and John, someone just said. Lots of love coming from everybody in the spirit world, okay? And I'll move on to the next person.
Thank you, Sandra. Can I
It's
call
done.
it time?
Oh, I was just getting started. Never mind. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for your wonderful demonstration. And we're shortly going into the closing prayer here. And after the closing prayer and the notices, could I please ask everyone to be still sitting because we have a surprise after the closing prayer.
So, notices for the week. Tomorrow evening, our healing evening. It's every other week here at Paul Church. Church registered healers, if you're here for 6:45, and anybody wishing to receive healing, if you're here for 7:15. Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we have a sound bath of Temple Bowls with Kevin Biggs. That's at 3 o'clock till 3:45. So, and doors will open at 2:30 for that. So that's this Wednesday. In the evening at 7 o'clock, we have our monthly awareness night where we talk about the topic of spiritualism and facets of that. Some unfortunate news for the weekend. Craig Morris, due to personal issues, has had to postpone his weekend with us here at Paul. So just put your thoughts out for Craig and his family at this time as well, please. It's just a shame because we love Craig visiting us, but I always say our demonstrators, we need to look after them. And have we looked after you?
Yes, very
Oh,
well.
good. There you go. Then. See, I'm living up to my
Both
word. And it's really unfair because he was very torn about the cancellation, and I actually just said, don't do it. If you are in that area, don't do it. Why do we do it to ourselves? So, yeah, we will miss you, Craig, but we will look forward to your visit early in the new year next year. Thank you. Next Sunday at 11 a.m, we have David Powell back with us, CSNU holder, and he'll be taking our divine service. And in the evening at 6 p.m. GMT, we'll be having our monthly Zoom divine service for those of you watching us online. And that concludes the notices. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Could I please ask you to close the service in prayer?
I'm doing a lot. So, if you could just put this love, this energy, this presence and experience that we've shared today, just make that part of you. Acknowledge it. Take from it what you will, be it through the messages, the philosophy, the healing, or just this community time. And take that forward in this world. Take that forward to be your strength, be that upliftment. And just give thanks. Just give thanks for the now. Amen.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, for closing out service today in such a beautiful way. Today we have a special thing that's going to happen. Alison here is going to give a poem, and she will tell everything about the background and everything about it.
Yay, Ali! Yay.
Sorry, so I'm the surprise. Sorry about that. So I'm up here on behalf of Dad. Obviously, Dad's been writing poetry and sharing it with you all for quite some time. After his spell in hospital, his thoughts and feelings went into this. And when he's a bit stronger, he can come back and grace the platform. But for today, I'm just going to read out these words that he's written. Okay, so let's start. Laying in a hospital bed, a nurse gently held my hand. To have another injection, I just could not understand. This nurse was so busy, and I was in such demand. In this hospital, things get out of hand. There is a place full of compassion and love. To help one another is the aim from God above. Like that star of Bethlehem shining so bright in the sky, love will always help the need for people like you and I. Every nurse is an angel bringing love all around. Having faith in what they do is what many doctors have found. Being free from pain, those angels will help you to see. Love was always meant to come so spiritually. On my way home, there is always time to confess, and God and his nurses will bring so much happiness. That is why this country can be proud of our NHS. leaving behind many people whose lives can improve, I guess. Love dissolves a heart that is heavy as a stone. That secret of success comes from God alone. Love is the power that all nurses won't forget. They treat patients like true friends, as if they'd never met. So it's Dad's way of just saying thank you for all the care and for all the staff and for everything that the NHS done while Dad was in hospital. Okay, thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. So, I would now like to give a brilliant thank to Lawrence with the philosophy and Sandra for the beautiful demonstration today and Alison for the beautiful poem. Thank you very much, each and everyone. And just follow us, everything that's happening in Pool's Christian Spiritualist Church. You will find everything online on the website. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, darling. Well done.
Thank you.
It is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's very good.
Lawrence.
What's that?
You were on fire. I was like,